Welcome in. It's the PAWSitively Petland Show, 800 KXIC, Iowa City. Hope you're doing well. Time to talk pets with Ron Salzer. He's with Petland of Iowa City. Ron, how are things going at the store?
Busy. Lots of traffic.
Have you ever come on the show and said slow, just horrible?
It's never been slow. I mean, anybody that comes in there, it's always like, God, it's 10 o'clock and you have a line outside your door waiting for those doors to unlock. And I'm like, yeah, that's what it always is every day.
It seems to be. I'm there. We like to stop by. We have a lot of reasons to stop by. We enjoy it. And our little boy, Jack, enjoys playing with the pups. And I know you guys enjoy having them get socialized with people.
Yep.
And that draws people, I think, just the fact that they're puppies. I mean, we talked about that. We talk about this sometimes, but it's really rare. There's not a lot of places. And I don't know if there maybe used to be more, but it just doesn't seem like it. I mean, even in Iowa City, where else are you going to go? There's not other puppy stores or places to go,
or pet stores. Pets in the pet store. And the reason is it's very difficult. It's not easy to run a store with living animals, like that in there, living fish, living reptiles. That's a very difficult. Wendy and I often look when we're at other retail stores, we'll just lean into each other and go, oh, wouldn't it be so much easier to run a store like this?
Yeah, wouldn't it be nice? So, you buy a rack of clothes, they just hang there, right?
Yeah.
That's a little different for sure.
Right. And so there's a lot of work that goes on.
You do have a lot of supplies, though, so I guess the other half of the store would be more like a traditional retail, but that end of the store, your pet part of the store is unique.
Yeah, sure. Very unique. And think of any other industry that has that component. And again, here, obviously I think about these things a lot. There is no other industry that you can compare to, because I always am looking for ways to improve. And so you can look at other industries and say, well, what are they doing and how can we emulate those good aspects of that industry? And there's very little that you can glean from other
there's some
areas.
Fish stores, but there's just not a lot of I mean, there's the one in Cedar Rapids that you've worked with in the past that helps the canines.
Yeah, Mike.
But not a whole lot, but that's good to hear things are going well. What are we going to talk about today?
We're going to talk about the Golden Retriever. Is that the right breed for you? I was actually this morning walking and came across a friend that has a Golden Retriever. And they were even talking about how, they love this breed. And we'll talk about those qualities. Then we're going to get into supplements. We're just going to hit one of them, the fatty acid type side of supplements for your pets. We take them. They actually help our pets as well in the same ways. And so we'll talk about that. Then we're going to jump over to hamsters. We're going to stump Jay on where's the origin of the golden hamster, and learn the history of the hamster, as well as, what does that habitat look like? Is that the right pet for your family? And then finally, Zukes. If you feed Zukes treats to your cat or dog, you're going to be happy to find out, because you love those. I know you do. You're going to be happy to find out that they have a food now, and you're going to want to check this out because it's over the top.
Interesting. All right. That's what we're going to talk about. And we're going to talk about the amazing pet story of the week. Big voice guys here.
It's time for the amazing pet story of the week.
He's wearing clothes this week, which is good. It's good. He's got his Cubs t-shirt on. Apparently, he's going with the Cubbies this weekend. We do have Cubs baseball here on KXIC. Just a nice chance to cross-promote there. Thanks, big voice guy. I appreciate the opportunity for that. Today, we're going to talk about this is interesting, a Malamute German Shepherd mix, a loyal dog that helped save his owner from a fire. Rex helped to pull a sleeping woman to a door when a huge fire broke out at her property in the Canadian province of Saskatchewan. Noreen Lucas had traveled to celebrate the holidays with her son Mitch and his wife Santana in December, but came down with pneumonia and took a sleeping pill as her family headed out for the day. The fire began, and the dog was able to pull her to the door. And the deputy fire chief, Adrian Hameline, said the house was fully engulfed in flames. There's no saving the house, but thankfully the grandmother woke up in the doorway and just enough time to get out, and they were able to save Rex was able to save this woman from the blaze. So he actually strong enough to pull the woman to the doorway, which he grabbed her by the arm and pulled her towards the door, which is really, really impressive. That's a strong dog. Might have a bite mark, but it's worth it for the being saved by the fire. So good job, Rex. And that's your amazing pet story of the week. When we come back, we're going to talk about the golden retriever. You heard about that. We're also going to talk about what else?
The supplement for your pet is the omega-3s fatty acids. Is that something you want to add to your pet? We're then going to jump into hamsters. Is the hamster the right pet for you? Are you looking to do something, but I just want a little less commitment than that dog or cat? And then we're going to talk about Zukes.
Zukes! It's all coming up here on the PAWSitively Petland Show. We'll be right back. All right. Promo?
Here, hold on here, we can do the promo, and then I just need like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
That's why I kept on trying to do stuff, and then you were doing the right thing.
Interrupting you.
Yeah, you were doing the right thing. I was like,
interrupting you.
Oh, crap. He's asking another question.
Shut up, Jay. All right. In 3, 2, 1. 800 KXIC morning host Jay Capron with Ron Salzberg from Petland of Iowa City. What are we going to talk about this
We're
week?
going to talk about the lovely golden retriever. Where does it originate from? That's a really cool question. We're going to find out, is that the right dog for you? We're then going to jump into supplements for your pets. We're going to jump over to hamsters. Is that the right pet for your family? And then Zukes.
Zukes!
It's a wonderful treat. They just came out with food, and we're going to learn about that.
All right. It's the PAWSitively Petland Show, Sunday mornings at 9 and at KXIC.com.
I thought it was a little short.
Yeah, I usually have to trim it or whatever, but I didn't have to this time.
Oh, okay. Here, let me pull.
Do what you need to do. You're good.
So that when I'm seamless. Okay.
Just let me know when you're ready.
Okay. My computer is working overtime here. It's like, oh. There we go. Yes, that's what I was thinking. All right.
Welcome back. It's the PAWSitively Petland 800 KXC. I'm Jay Capron. I'm Rex, dog. From I love that. We love our dogs. We love our pets. And hopefully you love the show. It's the PAWSitively Petland Show. I'm Jay Capron, Ron Salzberg here with Petland of Iowa City. And we are talking pets. We're going to talk about the golden retriever now. Ron, tell us about the golden retriever.
Hey, just a reminder, if if you're running into church right now and you're like, oh, what is this all about? I'd love to listen to it. You can listen to our podcast on
KXIC.com.
You can go to YouTube, just search Positively Petland radio show. That's what I call it. And you can pull it up on YouTube. You actually will see a live feed of us on the air, but you're going to pretty much just listen to us and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of an interesting little YouTube video.
Yeah. When we have puppies, though, it's even more interesting.
It's even more when we have pets on the show next week. That will happen.
Okay.
So, golden retriever. Where does it retrieve from? Where does it originate from?
Newfoundland.
You're kind of, it's funny that is in the lineage from the Labrador.
Yeah, that's what I remembered from the lab. That's why I went with it.
Right. And so that part does come in, but that's a really minor. That's not where it originates from.
Okay.
All right. All right. I love how AKC describes the area, and then it comes out with the location. From the rocky and heather-clad hillsides of Scotland.
Scotland, okay.
So this American breed that we love so much.
It's Scottish.
It is from Scotland. I think I did okay on that one, on that accent. Okay, so it's from of Scotland came the athletic, moderately made golden retriever.
Moderately made? What does that even mean?
They come out with these adjectives that are great.
Yeah.
I think it's referring to the behavior of the golden retriever. Moderate.
Yeah,
it's a moderate behavior. And that's, in fact, we'll talk about a walk this morning that we had, and that's exactly how our friend described their golden retriever is. It's just laid back, kind of thing. So moderate, golden retriever with his distinctive golden coat. In 19th century Scotland and England, the pursuit of game birds was not merely sport, but also important to supply meat for the table. The advent of the breech-loading shotgun. Here, this is interesting history here. The advent of the breech-loading shotgun brought with it a need for efficient retrieving dogs, and various of the landed gentry developed distinctive strains of retrieval. That was a long phrase.
That is interesting, though.
But yeah, it's the shotgun.
It's because the fact that it sprays out in those pellets, and it probably doesn't kill things as things get to go fly or go further away. So you need something to go get it.
Go retrieve it.
With rifles or those types of things, you really have to be a good shot, but you only get one shot at it,
Right. So. And so you probably were getting more. Yeah, we're conjecturing here.
But you don't know where your game
needed
just
this
went.
retriever to
it's
help
like,
you out.
I just shot it, but it just went half a mile away.
So that's a interesting, why they were developed the way they were, and everything.
They helped feed people.
That is truly how they started. The American Kennel Club first registered Goldens in 1925. Imports, of course, were the foundation of the breed in North America. Their success as working gun dogs and as companions soon spread through the central flyway of the United States. That's a beautiful way of talking about birds. And to both the East and West Coast. So that's a little history of them. Is this the right breed for you? While the Golden can be an admirable companion, he is also an active, athletic canine who needs regular exercise, attention, and training, especially in the puppy and teenage stages. And that's what I've heard over and over again. The Golden Retriever, when you see your friend with it or another family with it, and you're like, this guy is just a mellow dog. I love it. Realize that during that first stage of puppy, so when they're babies and then getting into the youthful teenage type years, so to speak, for a dog, they've got that energy, and they're, the friend that we came across this morning on our walk with their golden retriever, they were at the tail end of the teenage years. And one thing that I noticed was she had a no pull lead on her golden retriever. So she obviously on her walks had found that golden retriever was pulling. And so she's utilizing a special type lead to make it so the dog doesn't pull you. There's two types, and that'd be a nice conversation for the future. Leads that help you go for a nice walk rather than that my arm is out of the socket walk.
And there's a lot of people nodding their heads that have been on those walks before.
What is it? Talk about it now.
Especially a stronger dog, that bigger breeds in particular. The little ones can only pull so hard, but you get the bigger breeds, they can really pull you.
Yeah. And finally, many owners satisfy demands and have fun with participation in training classes and events as obedience and rally, hunting tests, tracking, and agility. So whether you're a hunter or not, this breed is really great for fans. So it's going to be that nice, especially into its young adults into senior years. It's going to be a little bit more laid back. It's a large breed. Realize that it is a shedding dog, and the hair is a little longer. So you don't, if you are at all concerned about seeing that shed in the house, golden retriever is probably not the right breed for you. This is definitely, you're going to see it in there. You can use the Furminators, good nutrition will lessen all of that, but you're going to always see a little bit around the house and everything.
And that's why they crossbreed those dogs.
Why you golden come into play. We just had one go home yesterday from our store. Those are very popular dogs in that they are less shedding. And in fact, was a second generation golden doodle, which means it was a golden doodle just for the shedding purposes back to again. And so that it has even less shedding issues, kind of a thing. So that definitely points out drawback, which might not be a drawback for you and your family, because it is such a wonderful personality dog as a just straight pure golden retriever. And again, we talked about it, and you heard the hunting lineage and all that kind of stuff. You don't have to be a hunter golden retriever, and so many people love them. This is one of the top rated dogs in the United States, loved by many, many, many families.
I know myself growing up, it seemed like a good group of the friends and people I met growing up had a family dog that was a golden retriever. So
we have 2 golden retrievers at the time of recording, both male and female, and they're a little lighter in color, blocky heads, which is, I love, that looking retriever. So come on in, check out those personalities and see if that's the right dog for you. We'll go through some more education with you on the breed. Help you, is this the right breed for you?
All right, next up we talk about the hamster, right? Or omega-3s?
The omega-3s. So we're going to talk, let me bring that. So we talked in the recent past about nutrition. We talked about proteins and carbohydrates and fatty acids and all that kind of stuff. And one thing we found out was fats are essential to us. They're essential to dogs and cats as well. And the reason is we have a variety of fat, because our bodies, while we can produce some fats, there are some essential fats that we have to eat because our bodies can't produce them. And so that's why you keep on hearing the omega-3s and fatty acids and all that kind of stuff. And that's also why you'll see essential on the front end of all of those. So these products are required by our bodies. We need to consume them in doses that are appropriate. What I don't ever see is how much enough. There's no real great study on these things, and that's one of the things that I've always wondered. Why is it that vitamins don't have any scientific proof that they're needed? Why is that? Because I know for a fact iron is required, especially for women in some cases, and your health will improve if you eat the iron supplement. And then you can equate that to other things out there. Fatty acid, definitely another one of those that you're not consuming enough, especially of the essential ones. So consume it, eat it, and you're going to see a benefit. And where do you see the benefit? It is throughout the immunity of your body is part of it. But that one's a tough one to assess. Am I healthier now? Am I less sick now? Kind of a thing. And so that's more
shiny skin and coat.
That's where I'm going, though. I do see the effect on a healthy skin for us, and then skin and coat for the dogs and cats. 2 references that I have. One is on me personally. I was noticing that dogs were improving. People would come in and there would be allergy kind of things. And I said, well, if it's, we discover, is it a seasonal allergy? Is it a food allergy? You can kind of go by trends. Is it all the time? Is it only in summer? Is it when they're in the grass? That kind of a thing. And you can kind of fine tune it. And make some pretty good guesses of what is it coming from. But essential fatty acids will help lessen the symptoms of the allergy. And I know that from personal experience. In the wintertime, I get little dry spots, and I had them, when I was a little kid, really itchy, kind of a thing. When I took essential fat, a little supplement, the omega-3s, the flax seeds, the fish oils, all that kind of stuff, I noticed that I didn't get it anymore. And I was like, well, that's pretty cool. And then in the summertime, when I'm running around or I'm doing maintenance in the yard and all that kind of stuff, and I get into the weeds, if they graze my legs, oh my goodness, I get so itchy and stuff. I know I have those allergies because I also have them seasonal allergies from pollen and all that kind of stuff. If I'm taking fatty acids and omega-3s, it's not anywhere near as bad then. And so I know from personal experience that they help. Then I see in the store these people talking about their dogs, and when they get the dog on the supplement, the allergy symptoms go way down. They get the hair back. There's not open wounds and all that kind of stuff from constant licking or scratching that area that is irritated. So this is a really good critical area for those that have those issues. Try it and see what it does for you. I do notice for me, I got to be on it for 60 days, 30 days kind of a thing before I see the improvement. So that's one aspect of it. The other thing is that shiny coat. Man, it just makes the coat look good. You can tell when a dog is getting enough fatty acids for their coat because it'll get nice, silky, smooth, almost, and shiny. Our dachshund, when we put her on just a good quality food, her coat went from dull and kind of mangy-ish little to really slick and shiny. Like you can almost see yourself. I'm kind of exaggerating on that one, but it's shiny. It's really good. I mean, when I see her standing in the yard, I'm like, that's a dang good looking coat on that dog. It's that difference of a look for the dog. So those are two reasons why you want to consider these omega-3 fatty acids, flax seeds, fish oils, all these kind of things to get those essential fats that we need and we can't produce automatically in our body so that we are healthier and so are our dogs and our cats. So that's all I want to talk about on that.
You've got
as far as
a selection of those too, right? You've got different brands and stuff at the store.
Yeah. Oh, we got a wide selection of products on there. Okay. So now the hamster. We're going to move on. Is the hamster the right pet for you? Hey, Jay, I want to stump you on a question here. Where do you think the golden hamster?
Golden hamster?
Yeah.
South America.
South America.
I did a whole continent.
South America. Are you in the zone? I think you're not in the zone.
What's the name of the country?
They're also known as Syrian hamsters.
No, I'm not in the right zone.
Is it the
Syrian
Middle East that is up
Middle
north?
East. Yep.
Okay. You can. I'm an engineer. Geography is not my strong point. I think I'm doing okay, but yeah, I fubbed up on that one.
That's all right.
So, is the right hamster for you? The hamster is a nice pet that is not as big of a commitment as a dog is. They live not as long. So you're talking 2 to 5 years, and if you have a really strong, healthy looking one going, could be up to 7 years. The commitment on size and and all that kind of stuff, they're relatively small habitat, and so that they don't take up a lot of room. They're easier to take care of because it's small amounts of food. Everything's smaller about it. The habitat's smaller, the food is smaller, the cleanup is smaller, everything is smaller, and they live a shorter life. So if you're looking, hey, I want my child to understand life and the commitment to life. And I've done the fish thing, and it either was great for you or it was. If you don't have that fish thumb as opposed to a green thumb, if you don't have that fish thumb and it's just not working for you, or it's working great, I want to add on to it. A hamster is a great place to look at and say, hey, is this the right thing for you? So we're going to talk about, there are, I think just less than 20 types of hamsters out there. The golden hamster is one of the most popular, also known as a Syrian hamster. What interesting in the history of it is we've got reports and writings of hamsters all the way back to the 1700s, and they obviously were around prior to that. They the only place that I heard or found that they are from is from that Syria, Turkey area. And they're kind of tough to find. They're still in existence in the wild today. The most recent study was done back in the late 1990s, where they went back into that area. They wanted to see how the domesticated hamster is different from the wild hamster. And so they got 6 females and 7 males, and then looked at them and all that kind of stuff, and found that yes, the domesticated hamster has changed a tiny bit, but amazingly not all that much. The domesticated hamster, guess what, is nicer than the wild one, and that is due to people are going to have more fun with that domesticated one, and they'll tend to propagate that one as a result. And that we see that in dogs, we see that in ferrets, we see that in a lot of different creatures. So the Syrian hamster has been around for a long time and is still in the wild. Here's another good question to everybody. Is it a nocturnal? I'm going to leave it at that. Is it a nocturnal? Yes. And obviously, well, we found out in the 1990 study is that they're actually, and they got a special name for it, and I don't have it in front of me right now, but it is a twilight and dusk. That's when they're most active. And they figured owls must be prominent in that area, and they noticed that the owls are not active during those 2 times.
That makes sense. Right?
And so that's why they suspect it. Hamsters are up below ground. They when they are sleeping and hiding away from things and all that, they are underground. And that's where their habitats are. And so we'll talk about how do you then how do you build your habitat to emulate that kind of stuff. And so what else can we talk about? I think I hit all the big things there.
Talk about the habitats.
Yeah, I think this is a good time. All right, so the habitat of it. I love one specific style of habitat. There's a lot of them, and we'll go through the benefits of it. The ovo, made by Habitrail, which is a bigger company called Hagen that makes them, they did wonderful studies of hamsters in the wild to develop this type of habitat. Picture more of a spaceshipy, roundy kind of habitat. There is no cage things, like as far as cage wire and all that kind of stuff. And I've found over the years, when I go there are really cute hamster cages that are still with the wire, but I find that they're really difficult to maintain. You got to take it apart to maintain it. And then you go, oh, I got to put this thing back together. The ovo, 2 clips, boom, and it's off. You can then literally, it says dishwasher safe. So, I wouldn't maybe wash it with my dishes or something like that, but you can really quickly run it through the dishwasher. I would just put it in the sink, run it through the water, let it soak for a little bit, and do a little chlorine to sanitize, and you're done. I mean, it's small and easy. Then it has all these little tunnels that you work with it, and guess what that's emulating is down below ground. And then they have little hideouts that they can sack out into. So this is where the hamster sleeps, kind of thing, just like they would underground. They did a lot of studies, and a really cool emulation of their natural habitat in a cage. I found a very old video of how they did all this on the web. So if you put in OVO, might put Habitrail, put video, and it should pop up. I haven't looked at it for a while, but that should get you in the right direction to watch a video. And it's a small little video. You'll go, oh, wow, we've come a long ways. But it is very interesting to watch because it goes through that. Then Jay's looking at them on the web right now. The other thing is they're just very visually attractive. And so your child will, I want a pink one, I want a blue one. All that kind of stuff is something that you can get to customize it to your child. And then you can add on to these things, all the tubes and little hideouts and all that kind of stuff that they can get into. Some of the tricks of the trade on taking care of a hamster. make sure you're going to get the bedding and stuff because they do want to burrow underneath it. That's one of their things. You're going to get some hideout so that they can go into it if they get stressed out. But I would get some ammonia absorber. Do you have a hamster, a rabbit, a guinea pig, or some other little rodent that, hey, gosh, it gets a little stinky in there after a while? Get an ammonia absorber. We have them on our shelf. They are wonderful because they'll bring all that back in to the little pellet, and you're not then taking that urine smell in. But guess what? Your little hamster or rabbit, all that kind of stuff, is also in a much friendlier habitat because of the ammonia absorbers. Know that the rodents, it's in the rodent family, the little hamster is the front teeth are constantly growing. They are the consistency somewhere around our teeth and our fingernails. So they're not as hard as our teeth are, and they continue to grow. And if they don't have a way of filing those down on chews and stuff like that, they'll then grow too long, and then you'll have to go to a veterinarian to get them cut. So this is really easy, though. Most people, all you have to do is throw a couple of chews in there, whether it's a wood chew, a little lava chew, all sorts of different kinds. You'll see in our small animal section all these chews that you can get for your hamster, rodent, whether it's a guinea pig, all those things. And that is to wear down those teeth. So that's another thing to do. You're going to replace the water every day. You're just going to freshen it up, and that's as simple as that is. And then as far as the bedding in the unit itself, you're going to do that about once a week. If you've got multiple hamsters in there, okay, maybe you're going to do it more frequently. I know that hamsters, the golden hamster, does like a mate. They will coexist consistently fairly well. Sometimes they do get in spats, and then you have to do some dividing up and all that kind of stuff. But also know that if you put the male and the female together, you're going to have babies. I personally, for my family, that was a wonderful experience, and enjoyed that. Some parents just know what you're going to get into. There's some things that might happen during that time that you might be uncomfortable with, where the hamster does a little eating. And that's a natural thing that sometimes occurs, but to a child, that's pretty horrific. Mm-hmm. And so just know and prepare your child. But I think that's a wonderful experience to talk with your child about what's happening. But what do you do with the babies? Bring them into Petland. We'll find them new homes and all that kind of stuff for you. So just in case you wanted to do that, and that's a great idea, we'll accept them in so that you don't have an overpopulation at your home. An interesting another fact on hamsters is back in the early 1900s, when we were domesticating hamsters, we actually had a hard time with that, procreating in the domestic setting. And so there was researchers that actually worked on that to develop, to get that going and everything. Well, now they're domesticated, so they're all comfortable doing it. So
interesting.
So that's a hamster.
All right. And then the last thing we have time for is your food.
Zukes. So going through, Zukes is just coming out with this food, and they came into our store and said, hey, we know that you love the treats. We think this is a good fit for your store. So Zukes has got a product called Ascent Grain-Free Crunchy Blend, a mix of protein-packed crunchy kibble with real vegetables and fruits you can see. Available in chicken, lentil recipe, lamb and pea recipe, and then pollock and chickpea recipe. So there's some variations on that. Some of the features and benefits that they tote: nutrient dense for elevated nutrition. So we talk a lot about that. And what are they saying? Hey, there's not those fillers in here. They're actually going to eat a lot less of this product. And this does seem to be even higher quality than some of those other higher quality foods. So they seem to go even higher on that nutrient dense. They're going to poop less as a result. So that's a big time advantage for a lot of us. They have live probiotics to help support immune and digestive health. That's becoming more and more a trend in foods, and they are definitely jumping on that. Grain-free, no corn, wheat, soy, no animal byproduct meals or artificial preservatives, colors or flavors in there. There's a lot of politically charged words in that phrase right there. We're not going to go too far into it, but if that's something that you're interested in, this is the right food for you. And then created in the USA. That is something that a lot of us really want and desire. So
it's something you said you've been waiting for a long time.
Yeah.
Too, is that Zukes, that people love their treats so much, you thought, why shouldn't they make food?
Yeah.
And now they're giving it a shot. So.
Oh, just check out the ingredient list on this guy. You're going to just be totally impressed with all this stuff that you're going to see and actually know what it is. Chicken, turkey, lentils, peas, chickpeas, chicken fat, chicken meal, flaxseed, pea protein. I'm going from the top down. If you're looking for a little higher protein, is your dog, hey, my dog needs more weight gain and all that kind of stuff, 32% protein on this guy. So it's really good.
Check out Zukes. How do you spell Zukes?
Z-U-K-E '.
Zukes. All right, that's Ron Salzard. I'm Jay Caper, and this has been the Positive Petland Show. Miss a little, missed a lot. We talked about a lot of stuff today. The Golden Retriever. We talked about omega-3 fatty acids and the importance of those. Also the hamster and Zukes. Check out the podcast page at kxic.com. Until next week, bye.
Average.
I think if you're putting it there, I think he becomes great.